Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so today we're going to begin our next chapter, which some of it might be review, I hope, but it's a chapter on algebra. And algebra, right, we have some vocabulary words here. Algebra is the study of equations. And expressions. In this chapter, we're going to be using these things called variables. And variables is a letter that replaces a number. Your variables should always be lowercase because capital letters stand for something very specific, usually within a formula. So I said it's the study of equations and expressions. So we actually are going to be talking about two different types of expressions. We're going to have numerical expressions, which is a number or the sum or difference of numbers. Okay? So it's the number, the sum or difference of numbers. I think I left a word out here because this should say algebraic. So if you could please add that in, and the spelling is down here. An algebraic expression then includes a variable. So it's a variable with, and I'm abbreviating with, sorry, I have the hiccups, a variable with numbers. So basically, if it has a variable in it, it's called an algebraic expression. If it doesn't, it's called a numerical expression. In an algebraic expression, we have something that's called the coefficient, and the coefficient is the numerical factor of a multiplication expression that contains a variable, and we'll take a look at those. So some characteristics of expressions. Well, some things they have in common, there are no equal signs. All right, in either one, in an expression, no matter what kind, no equal signs. This, an algebraic one, is going to have variables, and it's going to have coefficients. This, numerical expressions, is going to have numbers only. Okay, you might come up with some more as we go through these, and we can always go back and add in if you want. So in algebra, the multiplication sign is omitted. So we're not going to have any more multiplication symbol. No X for multiplication. So the following are algebraic expressions that include multiplication. So this means 6 times D. This means R times S times T. M times N. A times A times A. Right? I'm not going to write those all out. All right, so let's see what else we have to do here today. So, more order of operations. We just practiced this in the last chapter, but now we are going to have a variable. And if you have a variable in here, the first thing we have to do is we have to substitute in. We have to take whatever they tell us the variable equals and put it into the expression. So instead of saying 2 times n plus 3, we have to take out the n and put in -4. So we're going to have 2 times -4 plus 3. Once I've done that, all of these steps will come into play. So I have to do my parentheses first, remembering our integer rules. I'm going to write that up here. Integer rules. So, -4 plus 3 is -1. These, because there's nothing in between here, it's telling me to multiply. So 2 times -1 is -2. So very similar to what we did before. So here now I have two variables, W and V, so I'm going to substitute in what they equal. This means 8 times 5 minus 2 times 3. Notice I use the dot. No x. Okay, now we have to do our multiplication first. 8 times 5 is 40. Copied everything else down. Now I have to do the 2 times 3, which is 6. 40 minus 6, I'm going to write it over here because I ran out of room because I wrote too big, is 34. For number 3, so now we have 4 times, I forgot to say what y was. So let's let y equal 2. Sorry about that. So this is going to be 2 to the third. All right, well, I have to do exponents first. 2 to the third is 8. 4 times 8 is 32. And for number 4, we have C plus D, and again, they tell us what they are. So we have 3, and in parentheses, 8 plus negative 5. So I have to do parentheses first. 8 plus negative 5 is 3, and then 3 times 3 is 9. So we're just adding in that one extra step here. So athletic trainers use the formula where A is the person's age to find their minimum heart rate. Find the trainer's minimum training heart rate if she is 15 years old. So in other words, A equals 15. So I'm going to take that out. 220 minus 15, all divided by 5. So I have to do the parentheses first. So 220 minus 15 is, I'm going to put it over here because I did not leave myself enough room, is 205. So now I have to do the multiplying first. So this is going to give me 615 divided by 5. And this is going to give me, I'm trying to divide in my head here, 123 is her training heart rate. All right, number 6, to find the area of a triangle, use the formula BH divided by 2, where B is the base, H is the height, and A is the area in square inches. So we know we have a height of 6 and a base of 8. So I'm going to take out B is 8 times 6 divided by 2. Remember, when you have two letters, it means that they are being multiplied. So 8 times 6, normally I would work down, but I didn't leave myself enough room here. 8 times 6 is 48. Then you have to do 48 divided by 2, which is 24. So what steps did we take? Notice I only wrote them 2 here, because the first thing you're going to do is you're going to replace the variable with its given value. Then we follow PEMDAS. All right, any questions? You guys know what to do. You bring them to class for the next day. Hopefully this is a little bit of review, especially since we just did order of operations. Have a great night, guys.